Good morning, everybody. Hey, happy Wednesday, friends. Jody Breckville, Stampin' Queen here. I am live in my studio in Pennsylvania, so if you are on, come on in, say hello. It's time to do some stamping together. So hopefully everything is going to work okay. Last week was Valentine week, and I was live every day, well, almost every day. And I was having some issues, like my Wi-Fi was not working, and then there was a blank screen, and then there was no sound. So hopefully everything is good. Let's get some comments up here. You guys are in charge of telling me, yes, we're working. You can see, you can hear, everything's okay. I am back to the land of the living. I've been sick since before Christmas, and you guys don't need to hear about that. Hopefully you're all healthy. This is a lingering one. It just lingers. And so I am excited to be back and stamping again. I've been in the studio playing with celebration items. So good morning, Karen and Tina. Glad to have you guys on. If you're with me, just post a comment and let me know that you're here. Today is my creative escape. So each month, my friend Connie and I do a creative escape together. This is a totally virtual class. Hey, Susie. Hey, Marcia. Thank you so much. The amount of medication that I have taken, I should sound good and I should be like bionic by now. I was on like still on a 10-day course of antibiotics and prednisone and my inhaler. So I have had some serious jitters and brain fog. If you guys have done that round of steroids, like it just messes with you. And so I don't quite feel like I'm quite okay. So hopefully my stamping is okay today. We'll see. Anyway, today's Creative Escape Day. We are featuring the Meandering Meadows paper and the Garden Meadows bundle. These are both online exclusives. This is my class that is available now through the 15th, totally virtual. And so I'm going to show you those projects here. We're going to stamp those. So registration is open. You can find it in the description of this video. And again, like I said, it's till the 15th. It is an 8-card class. So you get 4 projects. 2 of each project. You'll have this video to watch. You'll have a tutorial. You're going to get gems. You're going to get the designer paper, which is gorgeous, you guys. If you have not seen it or don't have it, you are going to fall in love with this paper, and it just screams spring and fresh, and I love it. I love it. I love it. And especially now as we're like rolling into winter, it's so nice to have bright, fun, fresh colors. So, hi, Lori, Sue. Oh, snowy Wisconsin friends. My husband just headed out to Utah. They're getting some snow out there. He's very excited. I bailed on this trip due to my sickness, and so he can go enjoy the cold and the snow. We have wind and rain right here, so it's a little bit warmer on the East Coast. Oh, me too, Tina. Tina said we got spoiled seeing you every day last week. I love those weeks. They're a lot of work to get ready for and stress, hoping that my internet and all that stays together. But they are so much fun to do, and I loved those bees. I don't know if you guys fell in love with them like I did, but I just kept creating and creating. So as we get closer to Valentine's Day, I'll be posting some things that I have worked with. But I wanted to tell you guys a couple things. First of all, I wanted to ask you guys, do you have a favorite celebration item? I think this is one of the best celebration offerings we have had in quite some time. I feel like it's more. I didn't go back and count to see what we've had in previous years, but I feel like there's more available than we have had before. Now, of course, we're only one celebration a year. So January, February is our only celebration, but I stinking love this paper. I'm a paper addict. I don't care. I think all of the papers are just amazing. So right now, I wanted to know what you guys felt like is so far your favorite, or if you've gotten any, or if you have any on your list. What have I been working on? Well, this is a favorite right here, the Heartfelt Hellos. Love this one because it matches one of my other favorites, which is Heartfelt Hexagons and the Punch. So I really like this one. It's got some good generic sayings. I love that one. It's really fun to work with, free with a $50 purchase. And then this week, this is what I've been playing with, the birds. So do you guys like this designer paper? I really like it more than I thought because these are not normally my style. Like, I'm not about fat, chumpy birds, lots of florals and all that. But the colors are just so soft and pretty. The backside is beautiful. I think this will make great scrapbook pages, babies and children, bridal showers, baby showers. And I kind of was wondering, this could sell out. That's a gut. That's Jody's gut saying this could be a sellout. So this is called Flight and Airy, and it is a 12 by 12. I cut them down so it's easier to show you guys. So I'm curious, what's on your list? What are you loving from Celebration? Are you liking it? Susie likes it. Yeah, I have some projects with it, so you might be playing with it here soon. The other thing I wanted to share with you guys is, are you aware that Stampin' Up! Is releasing 2 inclusive kits every month this year? So these 2 just came out, and I do love a kit. I mean, obviously, I have a giant studio. I have tons of stamp stuff. I've been doing this for over 20 some years, but I still love these kits. I love the kits for the sake that they are traveling. They go in a box. So anytime I go somewhere, a kit goes with me. If I'm on vacation, I have got a kit. I think that they are really knocking them out of the park. These are great for beginners. These are great for people who don't have a ton of space. These are people who love to create projects and cards, but don't really want to dive into it like maybe us addicts have. They're just super, super fun. They're good for kids. They're good for older generation. I'm going to use these with my senior center stampers. And so I am really, really excited. Oh my gosh, everyone's loving the birds. Da birds. Yeah, it really is just a soft, pretty, fun paper. I've been doing a lot of fussy cutting with it, which I love to fussy cut, but it does work with the die. There's no dies that match it, but you can do circles and squares and, all that good stuff. But yeah, I have been fussy cutting out some of them birds. So anyway, I wanted to make sure you guys saw the Rock Legends. Okay, so this is all inclusive. Everything that you need is in here, and it's a non-stamping kit. The price point, kids, $14. That's it. And it is 8 cards and envelopes. So it's got You're a Legend and You Rock Happy Birthday. So pretty good for like those teens and tweens, men, women, heavy metal friends, music lovers. Love that kit. The other one that came out was the Panda Bears, and this is like a throwback to Celebration. Remember when we had these guys during Celebration? They were so cute. So this one is, again, 8 cards, and one's what they call slimline, right? The long, skinny cards. You get the envelopes, 8 of them in there. And what are the sentiments? Hey there, and love you. Something. I can't read, and I even have my glasses on. Love you lots. Love you lots. Good Lord, help me, kids. So anyway, that's the little pandas. And again, $14. They make a great gift. You can either get them, make them, and gift them, or gift them to somebody. But these just don't require a ton of know-how. It's really, really easy to follow along. So I want to make sure sometimes, and what I've heard from some of my demo friends is, it's not my thing. They're too simple. It's not for me. So, but think about the people in your life who it might be for. I have a lot of my stampers who are downsizing and moving into smaller places. They can't bring their giant studios of everything, but they still want to craft. So love, love, love those kits. I am doing I'm chatty, by the way, steroids and no communication for like days because my husband had strep throat. So I feel like you guys are getting the full Jody experience today, full Jody. But I'm using these kits to stamp with others and to share stamping. So I have an independent living facility. I have a library that I stamp with. I have a senior center. These kits make perfect things. And if you guys are out in the community and sharing the love of Stampin' Up! Demonstrator or not, think about the kits, because for $14, there's 8 cards in there with the envelopes, everything that they need. So you can break it apart and do those classes. So if you're stamping with other folks and just sharing love, think about those kits. All right. Now, one other thing before we switch camera is I want to tell you about another thing that's coming up. Lori likes the tool DSP. Yeah, that coordinates with the bundle, which is great in the main catalog. So it's kind of cool when they do that, because if you decide to get the bundle, you're automatically going to get that paper. You can choose that paper for your freebie. So I'm stocking up on that because we don't have a lot of the dad masculine dude stuff. And I know that I kind of am like lumping the masculine together, but yeah, I'm excited about that. So that is actually going to be a class from me coming in February, is using the tools. Speaking of classes, if you're my local folk, I do have my in-person class kicking back up for 2024. We meet the third Tuesday of the month, 10 a.m., 6 p.m. I have 2 sessions. It's not too late to RSVP. Information went out. But if you are not local to me, I bring that same exact class online. So Wednesday the 17th, 10 a.m. Eastern time, I'll be right here sharing my monthly make and take is what it's called. And you guys, I had to do it. I had to do it. Come on. Who fell in love with these dang cows? I mean, obviously, I had to get them. It is a punch bundle, which is awesome. It's called Cutest Cows. I mean, seriously. So this is what we're going to be making in my class. You can get this class for free. You can RSV, you can join me in person. But if you are not an in-person person, here is my shopping link. All you need to do is put your $45 order in using that host code, and I'm going to give you this class for free. Now, if you bump to 60, you're going to get the roll of ribbon as well, the black and white gingham, okay? So Cutest Cows, how could I not? First of all, if you don't know, we live on a dairy farm. That is our primary business here, is that we live on my dairy farm that's been in my husband's family. My son is working on the dairy now. He is the 6th generation. And so, yeah, cows. And guess what kind of cows? You'll notice that I am partial to the black and white ones. Here is my other project. It's a little blurry, I think, because of the light. Now, this one is a wobble card because where's her head? I guess this is a boy. There's a wobble. You are not going to wobble because I can't get them, but definitely dimensional. But if you have wobbles at home, wobble his little head. Hello. You guys know what kind of cows I like, right? And then, of course, we had to do a little treat. I did get a brown cow with some cow tails. There's a little treat container too. Okay, so you'll get everything that you need to make all of these projects. You'll have a tutorial. If you have a $60 purchase, you're going to get the ribbon. $45 purchase online gets it for you for free. But hey, you guys, bump to 50 because you're going to get celebration, right? Okay, so I wanted to make sure you all are aware. If you have any questions about my monthly make and take class, just hit me up. Oh my gosh, Karen. I want to see your baby shower invites. So make sure you share them with me. I can't wait to see them. Yes, Lori, we have Holsteins. Black and white ones are the Holsteins. Now, this little brown and white, or this brown one, can be a Holstein too. So this is farm trivia. Farm trivia, Farm 101. Yes, you can have brown and white Holsteins. They are just, it's a genetic thing. But the breed of them is Holstein. So there can be, we call them red and white or black and white. And they do not give chocolate milk. That was always a joke in my kids' school, was the brown and white cows always give chocolate milk. Nah, they don't. You guys know that. Anyway, we're going to switch around here, and we are going to do some stamping with my creative escape for January. Now, if you are catching the replay, you can just fast forward through all that chit chat, right? But welcome. Make sure that if you're on the replay, come and tell me, say hello so I can stop back and see you. All right, let's see if I can remember to how I switch things around. All right, I think we're good, you guys. I think we're good. All right, so yes, Marsha. Well, Wisconsin, I mean, you guys are like, right, cheese. Yeah, isn't Wisconsin the cheese? Like cheese heads? Do you guys all wear hats made of cheese? I know my husband's been out there for some dairy conferences a couple times. So what we're going to work on today is the Garden Meadows. Again, this is a bundle that is in the online exclusives. Okay, so the only way to get this is you can message me. You can actually order this from me, but you can only view it online. It's not in publication. So the other thing that we're going to play with are these cute little gems. So these are little birds and dragonflies. These are sold out at the moment, you guys. So if I can't get them, I'm going to sub in something else for your class. And then here's that paper. Now, it's a nice thick stack. You're going to get a whole pack of the designer series paper. This is just the sampling of it. But you guys, look at it. So beautiful. I am seeing squirrels today. Marcia, we went to Wisconsin this past summer. I totally forgot about that. We traveled, maybe you and I talked about it. We traveled in our camper van through Wisconsin on our way to Canada, and we spent the night there, and we had to stop and get squeaky cheese curds. You know, the squeakier, the better, right? They were so, so good. So anyway, back to the Meandering Meadows. This is a 6x6 pack. So you could just pull this out and like literally frame it. Just beautiful. This might be my favorite. But then I like this one. And I love that they all have like this pretty little garden path or this walking path. Okay, so there's one side. And then when you flip it, you have got kind of just easy colors for backgrounds and that type of thing. Yes, these cows could totally be grazing, couldn't they? All right, let's see. The sun went away for a little bit, so I'm going to see if I can get a little bit more light in here. The sun is playing hide and seek today for sure. All right, so that's what we're going to work with, you guys. And this class is available. Like I said, you'll get the DSP, you'll get the gems, and you're going to get everything that you're going to see today. Now, I do have my glass mat here. I'm probably going to get rid of it just because you guys get such a glare here when we're working with it. But wanted to make sure you guys all are aware of this amazing glass mat. I took this into my living room while we were all sick, laid it on my lap, and made cards while we recovered and watched TV. Adhesive got on it. Yes, that was a question on one of my lives not too long ago. How do you get the adhesive off? It was seal. And it was on there. I just took the chamois that comes with it, wiped it right off. Some others said if you have a little bit of rubbing alcohol, that'll take it off if you have a stubborn stick. You can cut with it. You can emboss on it. You can put ink on it. It does not stain. It does not cut. Tempered glass, which is awesome. But a couple people have messaged me about these. These are the corners for this. Okay, so imagine this is like a big cutting board, right? And it does come with these corners. You can keep the corners on if you want, but they are made to come off. First of all, they're made to come off so that you're easier wiping. You don't have to worry about crap getting underneath of those little things. But some of you were saying, hey, these keep falling off. Like, what's the deal? They're really just protectors, you guys. You don't have to have them on. They're just to protect the corners. So if you're traveling or you're going somewhere or you're moving this thing a lot, that's so that, you know, you don't end up breaking the edge. Because if you break the tempered glass, you may have some issue. So do these need to stay on? No, they do not. I just keep them. And if I'm going to travel, like going to a retreat or something, I'm going to throw those little corners on and, you know, off you pop. Okay, let's get stamping, you guys. Okay, find some goods here. I'm hoping I have everything. I tried to make sure I had everything collected, but we shall see. That was a lot of chatting. Good Lord, guys. I talked to you for 20 minutes already. Don't leave me. Bone folder. There we are. All right, so we've got a little bit of boho blue here for this card base, and we're going to start off with an easy peasy mac and cheesy and just let this paper do its job. Let's see if I keep that there, if you can see a little bit. So we're going to run out of adhesive here. We'll see how far we get with this one. Now, I have gilt on this one. Come on, come on, come on, wakey, wakey. Because look, we have to put some adhesive on that pretty one, but we want this pretty one. And we're just going to mat that on a piece of Whisper White. Sorry, basic white. My Stampin' Age came out for a second. Then I have, yes, it is prednisone. Honestly, Susie, you are not kidding. Like it does. Plus I'm on, you know, my inhaler is steroidal and prednisone. But I'm feeling so much better. That's the prednisone too, right? It makes you feel like superwoman. All right, so we have got the variegated ribbon. And so we're just going to run a little bit of that around the front here. This was a carryover from one of our other catalogs, and it's super pretty. And then this is just going to be a quick hello card. Sometimes that's what we need. I like to do cards with, you know, just kind of generic sentiments, because then you can alter it for what you need. So if it says hello, like it could be thinking of you or happy birthday or, you know, whatever needs to be on the inside. Ahead of time, I've got our double oval punch. So I did a scallop, and then we're going to stamp hello in a memento on some basic white, and then just give that a punch. I do still have a little bit of a runny nose though, sounds like. So hang in there with me. Add those together, then we'll get a little bit of dimensional out, because Pop-Tarts make everything better. Just add a couple of those on, and then we'll add our gems, and bada bing, bada boom. Take a little bit of ribbon here, a little extra. You could add a bow if you wanted to. This is nice thin ribbon, so it doesn't really create too much of an issue when you're trying to tie a bow. All right, so while we're stamping, I'm going to ask you guys another question. It's quiz time. I asked you your favorite celebration. This is going to be totally off stamping topic, but I do happen to have my house to myself. My son is leaving to go out with my husband on vacation tomorrow. So I have the house to myself, which means I have the TV to myself. So are you guys like binging anything good right at the moment? Like wintertime just seems to be a dull time for television. And so are you guys watching anything like interesting and cool that maybe I might want to check out while I have the remote, while I'm in control for a little bit? I'm curious to see what you guys might be watching. All right. What did I do with the gems? Here we are. Okay, so sorry. Ooh, Legacy. Okay, what's that on, Tina? I have Hulu. I've got a lot. I've got a lot of streaming shows. All right, let's get out our pretty gems. So all these cute little birds, and oh, Lori, that's a good one. Murderers in the Building. Very, very good. I love it. All right, so we'll add a little bird here. I think these remind me of swallows. They would be like especially around the fields, those little dive bombing swallows, right? Supernatural Teenagers. Oh my goodness. Make sure you tell me what it's on so I can give it a try. That sounds very interesting. Hola, Debbie. All right, we will need that for a little later. Okay, so there's card number 1. Right, here's card number 2. Bringing in, oh my God. Oh, Fight Demon. My goodness. All righty. So this one is a nice bright. We're bringing in some fun color. I think this one is Lemon Lime Twist. My friend Connie made that one. I pulled out Granny Apple Green. I think that's what I'm going to do for you guys, for the kits. I'm going to do Granny Apple. All right, so we've got a strip of that designer series paper, that one that I really love with all the cute little sunflowers. Oh, a nail biter. Eek. Is it going to scare me? Like if I'm by myself, I don't want to watch something that's going to make me like stay awake all night. I do have the dog with me, but he is worthless. So I don't want to scare the bejeebers out of myself. All right, so we just did a little layer right there on Granny Apple, and then I have a piece of basic white that I embossed with the exposed brick the exposed brick embossing folder. Words are hard today, you guys. All right, so we're going to add that layer together. If there's any like hanging off, I'll just do a little trim on that. Sometimes your embossing folder like shrinks your paper a little bit and you end up with a little tiny, little tiny edge there. Oh, Deb's another one for Murders in the Building. Yeah, we're all caught up, aren't we, Deb? We've watched all the seasons because I think we got it on Hulu. I think is how I watched it. But the Martins together, hilarious. Hilarious. All righty. Got to do a costume change here. So hold, please. Okay, now I think we're ready to roll on. Literally, we're rolling on. I told you it's going to be a long one with me, you guys. Uh-oh. What happened? Let's do a little checking. Something ain't right. All right, I need to, I think this might be too long. Or my cardstock is too short. I don't know. Hold, please. Back in a jiff. My cardstock was not cut correctly. I made an assumption. And you know what happens when you assume that the scrap piece you pulled out was correct. Okay, Legacies on Netflix. All right, Tina, I have Netflix. We just got it back again because we had to watch the Great British Baking Show when my daughter was home for the holidays because that's our jam. So I do have Netflix for now. Yeah, I am definitely liking Granny Apple on this one. So can you tell the difference? I'm not quite sure, but I like the Granny Apple green. It's just not quite as bright. All right, so there's our card. And then we're going to stamp the little basket on a decal circle. So we'll do that in Memento. And then we'll do some hello up here as well. Heller. Got to do a little bit of coloring. So I don't know what I colored though. I think let's do some pecan pie for our basket. Hopefully my nose won't drip while I'm bent over coloring. Oy. Okay, so there's a little pecan pie. That's light. I'll come in with dark and just kind of highlight those little areas that Stampin' Up! Gave me just for some texture. We'll do daffodil, I think. Daffodil Delight for our flowers. I just had to go buy a bunch of new blends because mine are so loved. Okay, we got some yellow, pretty yellow flowers here. And then we need some green. So I think I have Granny Apple Green Light. So we'll make those leaves Granny. Oh, I'm seeing some part of the basket that I forgot to color. Cute, yeah? let's do, that's actually, I'm going to do dark on that. It'll pop out a little bit more. I'm going to show you something else here. Sorry, I got real quiet when I was coloring. Do I have gray? I don't. Let me grab my smoky slate. Because sometimes I feel like when you do stuff like this, like it's just kind of sitting there in the middle of, like it needs a little, you know, something to sit on. So I use light smoky slate, and then I use my color lifter and just bleed it a little bit. So it kind of gives it like a shadow. So it doesn't just look like it's just randomly hanging in space. Dimensionals for this one. Pop, pop, pop. Oh, a blend tip go inside. I'm not sure what you mean, Lori. I don't know that I've ever had that happen. All right, there we go. Now I'm going to take some, this one's a mess, but that's okay. Some linen thread, and I'm going to do a double bow. There we go. Tie or knot. This is good. I'm having a hard time tying knots. This is my bad finger. If you guys follow me on social, you saw that I like tried to chop my finger off with my paper trimmer over the weekend. So it's still healing, and so it's not quite working as well as I would like it to. But that's all right. I still have a finger. That new paper trimmer is, yeah, he means business. And I think it, honestly, you guys, I do think how fuzzy my head was. I was just not paying attention. And yeah, my finger was in there. So I was lucky I didn't have to go to the hospital. I quick put a Band-Aid, or like covered it up with a tissue. I think that's what I have. And I went into the husband, and I was like, oh, and he looked at me and he's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm going to pass out, throw up, or what, but you have to look at it because I don't know how bad it is. I do know that part of my fingernail is laying on the counter. So yikes. All right. So I just added, with a good old snot dot, I just added that linen thread. And then I'm going to put a teeny tiny little dragonfly hovering. And there is card number 2. I have had that, Joan. And what happens, so I don't think I have one like this. This whole thing comes off. Is that what you're talking about? This whole cartridge part comes off, and then there is a tube in here that is the color. And so you can put it back together. This will just snap back on again. But what I found, the reason for that is usually there is a micro crack right inside the black plastic, and that's allowing this to come off. So check and see if you have any holes. I continue using them till they're dead. I also took a bit of electrical tape or duct tape and just like tape that back over. The end poked inside. That sounds like a like the nib went inside. Is that what you say, Lori? Like the actual, not this part, but the nib went inside. If that happened, I would call Stampin' Up and tell them and see if maybe they can offer a replacement. That sounds like maybe there was damage or something to it. All right, card number 2. Card number 3. We're going to get out the Pebbled Path. Love it. Now, one thing that you'll need to remember if you are getting this class is you will need to do your die cutting. Okay. So now if there are pieces and parts that are not part of the Garden Meadow bundle or dies, that will be done for you. But you will need to be able to do this. So you will need to have that die for that. So what I did was just tone on tone on tone. So where is I wanted to change my sentiment. This one's happy birthday, but I wanted to do something different. So I have a circle that I did from Stylish Shapes, and I'm just going to use Pool Party on, or sorry, not Pool Party. Hold on, guys. I'm getting notices that my account is going to be deactivated. Gotta love the spammers. So I'm doing tone on tone. So pebbled path on pebbled path. Every day is a fresh start. Amen, right? Okay, so I took this piece to cut out. That is the arch from that die set. And it's just going to go right here. But what I need to do is put some of these strips on my card. So I do believe I'm going to start with the middle strip. Just kind of line that up. I'm going to eyeball it into the center. And then these, yeah, I matched them up, so they should work okay. Just putting a little bit of space in between them. So now this will go right on top. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful. Now I am going to dimensional that. So Pop-Tarts all over her. If you had the foam strips, that would work really well. And I do have them. I'm just not going to go get them out. And I like to use lots of dimensions so that there's no saggy anywhere in the middle. So I'm not sparing when it comes to doing something like this. The other thing I'm thinking too would be if you had the black dimensionals, that would work well because they would kind of blend in here in case any little edges stuck out. So these are pretty simple cards, but just pack a wow with that paper. You don't have to do much when you got gorgeous paper like this. There we go. Now we can take our sentiment. We can put some Pop-Tarts on that. And let's add some gems on this one too. How about some dragonflies on this? Now, like I said, the dragonflies these gems are not orderable. So I'm going to wait and see if I can maybe get them for you. And if I can't, I'll sub something else. I was thinking those brass butterflies would work. So you would have maybe butterflies instead of dragonflies. Okay, so there's card number 3. Card number 4 is going to involve a little bit more of the stamp and the dies, but honestly, you could probably do this class without the stamp set. Just use sentiments that you already have or leave parts off or use something similar. Also, when you do those, keep these, your little, tombs, because you might need them for something else. All right, here's card number, what did I say? Are we on 4? I think. So we've got some fresh freesia. Oops. Cut the DSP here, so that's just going to layer right on there. I am not sure that one's cut right either. What the heck happened? Who cut my cardstock? This one's not cut either. Hold, please. Oh my word, you guys. It's like it's my first day stamping. Okay, back again. My new favorite catalog item. I haven't been using, well, obviously I've been using the cows. Like, I am so stinking in love with those cows. And the bees. I love those too. But I will probably quickly move on to finding something else that's my favorite as I get off my stuff and am able to play with it. I did get the rock and roll. And that's not normally my style, but a couple of my friends were like, you should get this and do something with it, like challenge accepted. So I'm going to work with that because I'm going to use it as my optional class in my retreat that's coming up. So ahead of time, again, that brick folder, and I cut that out. So here's the exposed brick. Use that one. That's in the annual catalog. That's a great embossing folder. So we're going to, again, dimensional this. So lots of raised up areas. And I love that you can just take, use any of this paper and it's just so stinking pretty. All right, all these little stickers coming off. Did we get them all? Yep. All right, so that's going to go, and that will just cover up that piece of designer paper. Now I'll show you that my sample is done just a little bit differently. So if you have the die at home, you could go ahead and you could cut that paper out with the die and then put it through the hole. Yes, it does, Lori. The Rock Legend kit and the Rock and Roll bundle work together. Yep. Smart thinking, Stampin' Up. Now we're going to do a little bit of stamping here. So we've got to do a gate or fence and some flowers. I should have done this ahead of time. So hopefully you guys are not too bored watching this happen, but I sometimes think maybe you need to see in action so you kind of know how you're going to do it at home. Okay. Coloring time, and I do know that we have trouble with this because my crumb cake is dying. Are you dark or light? You are dark. So we're just going to color in. I'm going to do my posts in dark so they stand out a bit more. So I like to start with darks, but that's just me. So I go across and I'm just going to add some of the dark here, kind of to those boards. You could have a white fence if you wanted. On one of our next cards, we're going to have a white fence. White picket fence if you'd like. Okay, then I come in with my light, and my light is what's running out. And I just kind of bleed it over top. But you could use any color. This one actually might be pecan pie. That's a nice brown too, but I chose crumb cake for my fencing. Okay, so that's kind of the gist of it. And then for this one, I'm going to do a little bit of freesia. I got light freesia here. And I need, that's how you tether. There's freesia. All right, I'm just going to add some dark and then blend over it with the light. Now these both have dies with them, so you don't have to worry about trying to fussy cut. Yay. And then we've got Granny Apple here. Good old Granny. She's getting a workout on this class. Okay, so then bada bing, bada boom, go ahead and die cut those out, and then you'll just add them to the bottom of the card. Dimensionals, actually, no, they are not dimensional. They are flat. Oh, and look, I think that die cut actually cuts the seal in the gate, like the seam. So your gates could open if you wanted them to. Now let's go ahead and do our sentiment here. And then I can assemble this later. But you guys get the gist of how to do die cutting, yeah? A little happy birthday. Okay, so then we'll just add that a little bit later. I will doctor them up all nice and pretty and add my gems, but that's what you'll end up having at the end. Now, let's look at these cards, shall we? So this is your class right here, okay? All 4 of those, 2 of every card with envelopes. You'll get the paper, you'll get the gems, you get the tutorial, okay? So that is available to the 15th. Now, my classes are subscription. Some of you guys might be a subscriber, which means it's a one-stop shop. All you need to do is click the button, become a subscriber, and every month you're going to automatically get the class. Now, what I usually do is include an extra for those of you who are a subscriber. The other thing for subscribers is they are grandfathered into the old pricing. So there has been a little price increase just because it's been 2 years and that's where we are. Things are just a little bit more than they used to be. So subscribers get the old pricing and they're going to get a bonus project. And so I'm going to show you, a bonus tutorial. So I'm going to show you that bonus one here. This is a little bit of a fun fold. All right, so it's a white on white, and then inside it's got a pop out. Okay, so this is the bonus tutorial for my subscribers. I do have thick basic white here and just scored that in the middle. And then I took a piece of basic white and I ran that through the textured, is it painted textures, maybe that embossing folder. And I also die cut out a piece of the DSP with that arch die set. So we're going to add that to our embossed piece, and it's going to be longer than we need. So we do need to trim it down a little bit. Okay, so a little bit's going to stick off, and that's okay. We'll just give that a little bit of a trim. And we can add that to our card front now. White on white, this really reminds me of like Italy, maybe, where it's kind of like stucco and then this beautiful scene, and it's just very, very crisp. We have 2 pieces here of embossed, which I did with the, oh, did that help make it worse? I don't know. Highland Heather and then the exposed brick. And these go on the inside. So again, like I said, this will be in the tutorial, so you will get the information so you can make this at home. The other thing that my subscribers get is every 6 months that they are a subscriber, they get a $25 value goodie bag. So Stampin' goodies that are valued at $25 every 6 months is a thank you for being part of my subscription. So if you have questions about subscription, hit me up and let me know, or you can find the link in the registration, or you can always just get it per class. So that's a nice option as well. These are going to go on the inside. So we'll just layer them up right here. And then we need to do a little bit of scoring. So ahead of time, I stamped and colored some flowers. I have some die cut pieces. I have my white picket fence ready to go. And what are we going to stamp here? I was thinking, what was I thinking? I'm going to stamp in Highland Heather and change up my sentiment a little bit. So I can do that on this long one, I think. There we go. And then we'll do thinking of you on the inside. How about that? Or, well, we can change it. We can decide. These work either way, I'm pretty sure. So we'll see what we think should be on the front and on the inside, I do believe. All right, so now it's time to do a little bit of scoring. And I just lost my note. Okay. Oh my gosh, Breck Bill, what were you thinking? Look at what I did. I wrote in pink. Can barely read it. So I've got this piece of designer series paper, and I very carefully need to score. So I've told you guys before, if you're using the Simply Scored, we have that stylus with two ends. One's a thin end and one's a fat end. If you're using your stylus for DSP, use the fat end, and you don't want to push hard because you don't want to rip that paper. So it looks like we need to score at 1.5 and 3. And then I'm going to turn it around and do 1.5 on the other side. All right. So when this opens up, that score in the middle, that 3-inch score, needs to be forward. So I'm just going to carefully fold it in half. You actually wouldn't even need to score, right? You could just fold it in half. Okay. And then this piece comes forward. And just keep asking it nicely because I don't want anything to rip. And then this side needs to come forward as well. Okay, so when you put your adhesive on, you only want your adhesive on the sides, no adhesive in here, okay? Am I gonna do green glue? This one we thought last time was, oh, nope, it's flowing again. I think it was cold and it wouldn't work last time. All right, so it looks like I have not made this one. Connie made this one. So I think what I'm gonna do, we need to make sure that the folds line up, right? Sorry, more notifications that they're deactivating my Facebook page. I'm not falling for it, suckers. All right, so I'm going to span that across there, right? Very carefully. And then we're going to hope, oh, yes, it closes. She closes. Woo-woo. Okay, so now I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive here. Actually, let's get some glue dots out for this fence. So this is in the die set as well. Okay, so there's our fence. And then we're just going to put some dimensionals on these little flowers here. It's a private walk area, yeah? You may not pass. All right. Gorgeous. Oh my gosh, I love it. All right, so I think we're going to do thinking of you on the front. So let's add that with some dimensionals. Thank you guys. I'm so glad you're enjoying this class. All right, thinking of you, add some gems. Let's have some little birds flitting around here. Okay, and then on the inside, we're going to have our sentiment. But remember, we only have a sentiment just adhesive right there. Yeah, we don't want to cause any issues with our card not opening and closing because we stuck it down. Okay, so only dimensionals on that one side. So there we go. That's your bonus for my subscribers. Do you love it? Love, love, love. All right, everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Again, make sure you come back and visit me next Wednesday because I think is next Wednesday. Are we doing cows? Next Wednesday? I think that's the 17th. I'll be here moving right along with some cow projects. And quick reminder also, if you guys love to play bingo, my registration ends tomorrow. So I call it Zingo because it is Zoom bingo. It is always a lot of fun. We have lots of goodies happening. We play 6 games of bingo. There's a jackpot, there's a card class, just a good time. It is Saturday, February 3rd, 11 a.m. Eastern Time via Zoom. Or if you're local, you can come hang out with me in person. But registration is open now and it will close tomorrow. So if you're interested in Zingo, hit me up and let me know. All right, y'all, that's what I have for you guys. Thank you for joining me for the Meandering Meadow class. If you have any questions, message and let me know. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube. Hit the little bell so you can change your notifications. So when I'm live, it will tell you. All right, my loves, thanks again for hanging out with me. Oh my gosh, we've been on for almost an hour. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Have a great weekend, and I will see you back here 10 a.m. Eastern Time next Wednesday. Bye, friends.